Okay, the topic we got to see through today is discipline. Discipline. I guess a lot like discipline has a lot of I guess misconceptions about it. People think that discipline means that things need to be boring, which sometimes things are kind of boring depending on what you're doing. But building discipline is like a muscle. And I always say, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So we might have different disciplines for different things. So when you start to specify your discipline in certain areas, especially in areas where you're struggling, let's say when it comes to like eating or food or different types of desires like that, carnal desires. So basically, when you hone in and build that discipline and you go through that for a certain period of time, you start to realize something. You start to realize things about yourself. When you start to self-reflect, you start to realize things about yourself, and where you come short on things, and if you thought that you had some type of drive before, and you actually start to see the cutoff on that. So, and most importantly, you start to see things in others. You start to see how other people are actually controlled by their desires. So it's kind of funny because we think that, we have control because we have free will and we could do this and we could do that. But really, our desires are in control. Now, when you have discipline, you tend to have control over yourself, and it starts expanding through different areas in your life. And then you realize you can do something if it's your choice. So now you're in the driver's seat, and I believe, or I don't believe, I know that that's when you're truly in control. So if you have a speeding issue, you can't control your speed, or you have an eating disorder where you just overeat, or you indulge in things like addictions and pleasure, playing games, whatever it might be. So have you. Um, you start to notice that about people, how people are driven by their desires, and they're a slave to their desires, and they have little to no control over that. Then you start to reflect and say, wow, if I am able to have control in this area, I could have control in this area. And it starts to expand, and then you start to get to a new plateau in your way of being where you could accomplish more. Not because you're doing less. Of course, maybe that could be a cause too. You're doing less, but you're able to focus more and do things based off of choice, not desire. So I believe that. I always say that. I'm gonna make a video about believing and knowing and how powerful that is. But anyway, I know that being in the driver's seat or having discipline, it really gives you that grit on how to accomplish things. And I know there's a lot of people that are controlled by their desires, controlled by the things that they love, and they claim that they love. And some of the things that they claim that they love is actually harming them. So make sure you put a comment down, just off of your experience on how you're working on your life, or how you view discipline. I'll probably make another video on where to start, and it's an easy start, and then you could kind of transition into other areas of your life.